Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Standard 81 podcast. And I am your host for this one. Let me get this. Yeah, okay, there we go. Just want to make sure that everything is in order. Perfect. So we are going to be having another live discussion with a special guest. As soon as she gets here, we will be discussing dating within the Black culture, and what changes need to happen, what it is and what it's not. Uh, this young lady I have known for a little while now, and I think she can shine some light on some things and bring some perspective to things that I think we've all had questions about. So I'm gonna give her a couple of minutes or a minute or two to get here. In the meanwhile, I am going to play this music in the background. Um, just stay tuned with me, and I will be back. I hope you guys can all hear me here. Uh, so yeah, we're just waiting to get around, waiting for her to drop in. But in the meantime, let me tell you what I got going on. Uh, and that is her. We're gonna go ahead and connect. Let me get a double frame up, and let's add her on in.
Hey, there you go, friend.
There it is.
There you go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Do I sound clear? Do I
Yeah,
sound good?
you sound good.
Perfect. Perfect. So, everybody, before we get started, let me introduce you real quick, and then we can get into the conversation. This is Keena, aka Sha'Kinna Jones, and we've known each other for like 2 years. Two
Friends,
years, would you say? Two.
friends, but
Okay, two years. Well, something like that. Something like that.
lot
Something
long.
like that.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't keep track of all the numbers, but we known each other for a minute, and she is a wonderful person. She does fitness. She does outreaches. She does all kinds of stuff. And the reason I'm bringing her on today is because she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of background in the thing that we're talking about today, which is dating in the Black community. Because as y'all all can see, she is Black. And she also dates, and she apparently is going to do a live cooking show for us too. So hang on to your hats because this is going to be awesome.
I'm in the
And
middle.
whatever you fixing, fix me some so that I can have some too. That's all I'm
I got you. I got you.
saying.
I don't mind something.
Perfect. Okay, so check this out.
Mhm.
Here's how I want to start this thing. First, tell us a little bit outside of what I've said. Tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing in your upbringing, so that they can get to know you a little better, and then we'll kind of break into what we want to talk about from there.
As far as me and my upbringing, you said?
Yeah, you and your upbringing and things that are relevant to the conversation as it
Well,
may.
if we're talking about my upbringing as relevant to conversation, I think the fact that I am black comes to. So I was raised in a black household,
Okay.
um, raised with both of my parents that were married and together.
Okay.
However, by the time I was in high school, they was going through a divorce, so I kind of saw the best of both worlds with that type of relationship and stuff. But I was raised old fashioned way though, as far
Okay.
as with family and relationships and how my mom treated my dad and my great grandparents and my grandparents. So I was raised old fashioned way in the country style, just the good old days, in other words.
Okay. Cool. 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 So you were raised up in the good old fashioned style. You seen your mom and dad, and you seen there was a good faith interaction between both male and female. How do you and getting into everything? How do you think that compares with the way we do things in today's day and age, and what you're seeing in the current state of relationships?
It's complete opposite.
Okay,
It's
let's you go
it's
ahead and expand
it's
on it for me.
it's just it to me it's backwards. Now it's more of back then men wanted to take care of their significant other or their wife or their girl, but that's just how like they knew the man provided and protected. And then the women took care of the household and whatnot. But now it's more like women are just like, oh, you have to do it. It's more of a have to, like they're trying to force them to do something when they're not doing nothing to bring to the table themselves. So it's backwards. It's backwards, and women are demanding more but giving less compared to back in the day. If
So
that
you
makes
know you about to catch a lot of heat from that because I mean
I'm
you're saying the opposite of what the narrative is, which is the men need to be more traditional, and the women just need to come to it because they already the quote unquote standard out there is women are already bossed up, they're more educated, bringing more money and stuff like that, and
that's fine.
all that good stuff.
Can't be educated. More, no one's saying a woman don't need to be bossed up. But if you look at back then, a man took care of his wife. Like I'm just gonna do for my household that I
Hmm.
grew up. My dad worked and provided, but yet my mom worked also.
Hmm.
My dad was seen as being head of the household. He took care of certain big bills and big things in the house. But my mom never worried about anything. But she made sure we, as his kids, we knew how to do stuff too. You know, my mom went out and worked a full-time job, but yet there was always a home cooked meal at home, whether she cooked it or we cooked it. Clothes were always washed, and my dad's work clothes were always hung up. It was more like it was a win-win situation for them. It wasn't he providing, all she did was sat at home and cooked and watched soap operas all day.
Well, a lot of the narrative out there now is if you want a woman to do all that, like you were just saying, you want her to come home and cook and clean and do all that stuff, you need to be providing a household where she can do all that without having to work.
But
Um,
but why? But why is that? Why?
Well, they say it allows them to be placed into their feminine nature, the more nurturing nature of them, if they don't have to worry about the grind of every day going to a job, clocking in,
You
looking
don't
for, submitting to a boss and woo, woo, woo.
you don't have to be one where you're just always clocking in. I bet there's just more to it. If you ask me, it's just more to it. I've never been the type of woman who want to sit at home and have somebody just take care of me 100%. If you want to help take care of me, but I'm helping taking care of you too. That's the difference. My dad and my mom took care of each other. It wasn't just she depended on him for everything. No, but what if, say in a down spiral, say your spouse was to lose his job or there's just a down season.
Mhm.
Now you're not working. You sit at home all day because you just wanted him to take care of you. What you gonna do? You gonna be able to
That's
help,
a that's a
or you
good that's a
or you gonna leave and try to find a new household to go to because this one them failed. Your foundation here is failed, so now you gotta find someone new to go.
Well, that's typically what tends to happen is whoever the supplier is whoever they up and leave. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you can't supply for me no more. You ain't got the money, so I'm out. The vows nowadays don't make any type of sense. It's not for rich or for poor. It's for rich, and when you get broke, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. It
uh,
is. Still, you can't do right by me no more type of situation. I'm gone.
right. Um, how do you feel that is affecting, especially in our community, our dating options and our interactions with each other when it comes to companionship?
I think it makes it a little hard. It's
Hmm.
definitely a struggle. It makes me also a lot more cautious, to be honest with you.
Okay. In
Or
what ways do you think
as
it makes the more
friends,
cautious?
I feel like guys now have to work. They have to ask the right questions.
Hmm.
So it makes them cautious on who they're going after. It makes them cautious of where you meet somebody too. Because if I meet, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. Because they always say it's certain spots where you can meet the perfect person.
Hmm.
You gotta watch out where you trying to hook up with somebody in the club and think that's gonna be it. That might be a red flag there. But if we run into some place like the grocery store and I can see you grocery shopping, that might be a good sign. You
Hmm.
know, there's just things to it, but it's hard. It makes dating hard because everybody's doing the new standard, the old standard. The traditional way. They're more this new age. This is why a lot of relationships don't last.
What do you think the what is the standout main problem? Is it people having standards, or is it the preferences of people? Because I'm gonna just say this, and then I'm gonna let you get into it. I believe that standards and preferences are two different things. I believe having a standard is saying, okay, this has to do more so with what your characters and your values are, and preferences have more to do with uh, outside things, maybe physical stuff like stature, money, so on and so on. I'm not saying that part of a standard is not somebody knowing how to handle money and manage money well, but you don't have to be this high earner, and the woman on the woman's side, she don't have to be an Instagram model to get anybody.
I think we had a comment. Then we have a comment like this too. For instance, is every their standards and expectations are a little just unrealistic
Okay.
in that type of sense. Like when people are like, I want a man that's gonna, you know, take care of me, pays everything, he does everything. All I gotta do is ask for it and I get it. And we're always traveling, we're always doing this together. But however, an extremely busy man is not gonna have that much time for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna happen. Then a man that got too much time for you, then you wondering, okay, well, how is he providing? What is he doing? You
Okay,
know,
so let me say this because in today's culture, it seems like, and I hear this a lot. They're like, I want to, especially from the young women, and I'm just speaking as a man. I want a man to be obsessed with me. He needs to text me all the time. He needs to call me all the time. And just like you said, if that man has too much free time, they're like, how you got all this time to call me and text me, and it's
exactly.
like you can't win for losing. If you make them a priority, they're like, oh, you doing too much. But if you don't, if you like, look, I'll check on you when I'm available. You are a priority, but you're not blowing them up every 2 minutes. It's like I hit you here and I hit you there. It could be within the day. It could be a day. It's like, oh, you don't like me. Do you think that has to do with the day and age we live in, or do you think that has to do with the conditioning, or how they've been experienced relationships?
I say it's probably more on how people experience relationships, and I can say that for me, for an example, like past relationships,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't check. I didn't get that whole I'm not a clingy person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care to be talked to every day. I don't care to be texted every day. I don't care to always have you up under me and you need to talk to me 24/7. I need to have your location and you see I need to be able to call and you answer it all. That no. So now that I'm back in the dating world and trying to, and the person I talk to now, I talk to every day. And it is not like hour-long conversation, just a couple minutes. Hey, I'm on break at work. Or just here's a shoot text, have a good day, just checking on y'all, talk to you later tonight. Little stuff like that. So I guess it's just based off of past situations for most people. Most people, they, hey, if you're used to that clinginess, it's a little too obsessed, if you ask me. There's a difference between caring and wanting to be there for your partner and checking in and doing this, but it is a little bit, it's too much like, okay, why do you need this clingy activity? Like, what, there's a deeper issue here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because then when you go one day and you go missing, now it's you don't love me at all. You doing something completely wrong. You're cheating on me. It's a bunch of crazy things that happen that just it's like red flags for me. Like, why are you like this? Like, why do you have to be up under me all the time? I just
Mm-hmm.
talked to you 3 hours ago. Why are you going on my phone with 10,000 texts? Oh, you responded 58 seconds ago and you read my message. I'm sorry. Like, I was busy. Like, you know, it's things like that that got me like, okay, somebody will chill out now.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Um, I would say a lot of the stuff that we are talking about, I'm used to seeing in the younger generation, right? Those who are 21 to about 25, maybe 27. But
Mm-hmm.
as you hit 27 and going up, I am still seeing a lot of the same uh, actions or same things happening with people who have either been in relationships or marriages, and they're still kind of acting the same way. What do you think the problem is there with people who are older still having these same expectations of relationships and not changing with their age and
Are,
with their mind or anything like that?
are they constantly bouncing from relationship to relationship with these issues? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, why they keep on
That's the
uh,
problem because they haven't addressed those problems. That's why they bounce from man to man, man to man, or female to female, or whatever they call them. That's why they bounce. A lot of it to me is just unresolved issues that people need to like deeply discuss. No one should be like you can be obsessed with your partner. I'm not saying you can't.
mhm.
You can definitely be obsessed, you know, to where you love them just that much and you always want to be around them. But realistically, you can't be around somebody like that all the time. You just can't.
Sure.
That's an issue. Like it's an issue. People got to work. People need me time. People need alone time. People, you can't. It's just a problem. I'm sorry.
So do you think there's an unrealistic expectation when it comes to marriages and relationships? Because it seems to me there's a lot of people that tend to think of relationships as a happiness bringer. Like once I get this person in my life, I'm gonna be happier. Do you think that's a realistic expectation to have, or do you think that's something that people have been running with and it's just causing a lot of problems?
I think the one problem a lot of people need to stop thinking that a relationship is going to make you happy. That's one of the issues there. People need to stop thinking just because I find somebody to spend my life with that's really gonna make you happy. Until you dig in with deep, and I can say this because of stuff I went through. Until you truly know who you are and other stuff you went through, you're not gonna understand if that person's gonna make you happy long term or just temporary. You might be happy now, and in 10 years down the line, you still with this person trying to figure out why you still got that certain feeling that you had 10 years ago, but it wasn't when you was with them. So it's unrealistic to me. A lot of it is just it's unrealistic.
Do you think relationships uh and I'm not saying hard work, but do you think there's a certain amount of work that goes into having a relationship
Most definitely.
versus the expectation of everything's supposed to be hunky dory, and how do you think people are looking at that work when they get into a relationship?
Most people aren't looking at it as work. I think that might be one issue. People aren't looking at relationship as work. People
Hmm.
look at it's supposed to be perfect all the time, and then yet when they get into it and they see that it's work or it's like stuff they got to work on to keep that relationship going in a positive direction to keep climbing that mountain of happiness, that's when they start to backpedal and go down and hence on why people leave and go relationship to relationship. A lot of people don't like to put in the work. A
Mm.
relationship is a job, if you ask me. It's a job.
Expand on that for me, because I've said that before. And I believe it is 100% a work. It's a position that you
It's a job.
just like any other job, you qualify for it, and you can get fired from it just like any other position. But those who put in the work
Mm-hmm.
wind up lasting long term. Expand on that for me a little bit,
Do
because
you?
I like the fact you said
I
that.
mean, you're right. It's work. It's literally work, just like a job. For instance, so to even get in a relationship, you put in work to get into a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather it's from a woman to a man or a man to a woman. You put in the work to, you want to check on them, you want to talk to them, you want to make time to go out with them, but yet you're not too busy, but yet you're still busy. You know, hey, I gotta work, I gotta make money because I want to take this girl out, or hey, I want to take this guy out, I want to do stuff for them, I want them to do stuff for me, I want us to do stuff together. I gotta put in the work, I gotta figure out what they like, what they don't like, what can we do together, what kind of issues we have, how are we connected. It's just constantly, your brain is constantly going and moving. Okay, we was fighting about this yesterday. I know she don't like that, so maybe I need to change that about myself. And then, oh, well, he didn't like that, so let me change that, or whatever. You're constantly doing that. So if you did all of that to get into a relationship, what makes you think you got to stop once you got it?
Wow, that's powerful right there, because most people figure, all the stuff that I did to get here. Okay, now that I'm in it and I'm comfortable, which I believe is a thing that's really tragic. I'm comfortable. I don't have to do that no more, because they know I got them. They seen how I treated them in the beginning. I haven't changed my mind, but of course we know that. Um, I'm gonna say love, for lack of a better word, is an action. It's about what you do. What you do, what you're doing is matching what you're saying. But let me say this. I'm a backtrack just a little bit. You said you need to know yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hearing a lot of people, men included, but especially for the ladies, and I want you to speak to it because you are saying, I'm not getting into a relationship because I'm trying to get to know myself. I'm trying to learn my self worth. And then they come back with these enormous, unrealistic expectations. And now they like, I've been exploring myself. I know I'm my worth and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's cool.
Like what though? Like, give me an example, because sometimes
Okay, so
they didn't probably get to really know themselves. They just
okay, check this out.
watch sitcoms.
I'm gonna start with uh Satan, right? The triple sixes. He need to be 6 feet tall. He need to have either a six pack, or and he need to make six figures. And I'm like, how many people you even know do that? Have you even been around them type of people?
Oh, I was literally just about to say that. One issue is that people are putting their relationship category in a tax bracket that they can't even get in themselves just yet.
Mm.
And not saying that you're not there's no possible way you can't get there or find something out of there, but let's constantly, like, that's how, like, when people get in other celebrities' businesses, why are you worried about rich people problems? You can't handle their issues.
Mm.
Why are you trying to get into a relationship with someone that's making six figures when you're not even making four?
Mm.
You know, that's like, that's the unrealistic that a lot of people be talking about. I want my man to be 6 feet tall. Well, sweetie, if you want a man 6 feet tall, you want a lady that's 5'5" and has a good job herself with not six kids. You know, so
Mm.
y'all make it make sense. Y'all over teeter tattering, and the scale is like, yo, he's all here, and you just weighing him down. No man's gonna want no woman to weigh him down.
Well, see, they're saying that now they know their worth. They know what's real for them. I've had my mistakes. I've gone through this stuff, and now I know what really matters. And I'm not just saying this about women with kids. I'm saying this. I just talked to a girl a couple of weeks ago that was saying this. She didn't have no children. She was 30, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. And she was telling me, I got my own. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Isn't that called adulting? Shouldn't you have your own?
You're right. You're
That's
right.
called adulting. Why do you want a pat on the back or a
And
leg up for being an adult? And now your expectations is up here. You say you know your worth, but isn't everybody doing that?
uh, and that's the thing. A lot of people, they get it. confused. They misunderstand the whole concept of it. Like getting to know yourself after, let's say after a bad breakup,
Mm-hmm.
when you get to know yourself. In that sense of that, you should understand what you will tolerate. That's like saying you know what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you bring to the table as far as you know like what you bring to that relationship. Because I hate when people say what I bring to the table. Like in a relationship, let's build the table together at this point. Like I
Right.
put the left chair, you pull up the right chair. I put this entree, you got this one. Like that just whatever. But you gotta be balanced. It's understanding who you are as far as in a relationship. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. This is why strengths in a relationship. These are my weaknesses. I would like a partner to add to my strengths, but help me build on my weaknesses. That's the whole
Mm-hmm.
purpose of getting to know myself in a sense of after a bad situation before I go straight into another. Because if you go from one relationship to another, and you don't understand why you constantly just bouncing around like a bouncy house from man to man or woman to woman, then that's the issue. Figure it out first. Then
Okay,
when
talk about that. Talk about that because I like what you said. You said getting to know yourself is more about learning about what your weaknesses and strengths are, and then
yeah,
finding somebody that can cover that. Because what you hear a lot is, "I want somebody to match me," and I'm like, if
I
you
don't
have the same type
exactly.
of personality as you,
Yeah,
are you growing? Are you going to grow any?
me. I don't know too much about zodiac signs and that, but I know my sign. Like I
Mm,
know because of the household I was raised old fashioned. I know I love to cook, so I would like for my partner to love to eat. you know, like I don't mind cleaning. I enjoy a clean house, so therefore I would like my partner to respect a clean house. You
right,
know,
right, right.
and then as far as like my weaknesses, it will probably be like I personally as a female, I constantly like to stay busy, so I need to learn to have a little downtime from time to time to spend with my significant other, just a little bit. Learn to shut my work life off and just deal with here work life balance. Help my partner help me understand that a little bit better. I enjoy working out, but I don't do it enough like I should, so I need to learn to get my time management better. I want my partner to be able to help me understand time management just a little bit more. Strength and weaknesses in that sense, as far as relationships and what they do. All this, I need him just like me. Why? I have a bad attitude from time to time. Why do I want somebody else walking around the house with a bad attitude? Now we don't blew the house up. I don't need that. I don't need to be looking in the mirror the whole time I'm seeing my partner. No, we need to learn. We can have some things in common. We can
Right,
both sound and joke and laugh and do a whole bunch of stuff just like, hey, this is my best friend. But you and your best friend aren't the same. You met them in
right.
common, but yet they help you where you fall. Like where you're weak at, you got your best friend there. That's how you want your partner the exact same way. That's the difference. All is you need to match me. No. Because we matching, why you got a dress on and so do I? Why? Why I got a strap around heel and you got an open toe? No. I don't need that type of match.
Oh, stop.
Just saying. Just saying here.
Oh, you
No,
wild right now.
no
Okay.
shade, but I'm just saying. I'm just a little
Okay, cool.
sorry. No.
No, that was good. That was good. That was good. But okay, so let's explore this whole matching thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I do believe to a certain extent that you need to find somebody who compliments you in the best ways.
You see how you
And yeah, and that's what I think of when I say matching. I'm like, I don't I do believe there's a sense of opposites attract, but if you're too opposite, is it ain't gonna work. There needs to be some complementary things that go together. But how come it is everything is based upon superficial things such as uh, income and social status and experiences such as how many flights can you do? Are you living an exciting life? Why do we get measured in that particular sense? I think I lost you there as far as your picture.
yeah, I'm sorry. I got a phone call that came through.
That's all right.
You had me ignore Bay for a minute. Now I got to text and let him know I'm busy right now.
Hey, just tell him you gonna be you be all right.
I, I gotta let
That's
him know.
what a relationship.
Relationship is.
Bro,
Let him know you get to him.
give me trouble over here.
Uh,
So
it's
hold on.
cool. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Uh, uh,
And there is another. While you're doing that, there's another thing that I was going to bring up, but let me say this. While you're doing that,
Uh
I
huh.
think that there is a such thing as too much and too little,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think we can set our expectations entirely too high, and
Yeah.
then I think we can set our expectations entirely too low.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that in a relationship there needs to be some sort of even ground, where between the reality of what where we live and where we want to go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I said before, I don't believe there's anything wrong with having standards or having preferences, but we need to really figure out what the reality of it is as
Yeah.
far as where we're going and what it is we want to accomplish. I'm not saying that you should settle for a dude that wants to sleep on your couch and eat up all your food, you
Because I want.
know. But I'm not. But I am saying if that dude is working a good job and he's making his own, don't dismiss that just because or he's not 6 foot, God forbid, but he ain't 5'2" either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It, don't just dismiss it for whatever the
No,
reasons, but
I think the issue is it's the way society just is. Nobody wants to live for. No one wants to do hard work. Everybody just ready to find the quickest way to come up. And most people think the fastest way for me to come up, so I ain't got to work too hard, is just to find somebody else that already has it, so I
mhm.
can just be with them, just live off them. That's
Yeah, but that's a gateway to destruction because oftentimes you hear about those type of people, and we already know those type of people, girls and guys alike, they have mad options. So as soon as you do something that is not within their road, and I'm gonna give two celebrity examples. Jennifer Lopez just hopped from relationship to relationship, marriage to marriage, and it's almost like she just get to pick them. And these is not some scrubs either. You talking Derek Jeter, two dudes from the Yankees, and now she with Ben Affleck. Come on, these ain't scrubs. These ain't scrubs. Diddy, I mean, come on, man. She just running through them. She running them up, and it's not like she just dating casual. She getting married to the most of them. Then like 5 years afterwards, I'm done with this. I'm like, and then on the dude side, you got dudes like Future out there. I mean, I'm sure we can name a ton of rappers that 6, 7 baby mamas, and I'm like, come on, what are y'all thinking here? You
but
know that.
this and I must tell you why I don't comment on celebrities' relationships, because a lot of them they can do what they want. To be honest with you, they in certain they in certain levels that allows them to do what they want. Half the time they not looking for nothing too serious. They just having fun. That's all it is. They're having a lot of them are having fun.
Mhm,
So like think about it. If we really talk about celebrities, and since you said Future, just look at it. He was with Sierra,
mhm,
had a kid, bounced around, they doing whatever. Before that, she was young with Bow Wow, young dating whoever else. She finally was ready to settle down, and look, she's been married to her husband for some years, and they are now on child number 3 together, and her child number 4, which he counts as his too. So I mean, a lot of people bounce around because in the celebrity world, in my eyes, because they're not ready to fully settle down. And then when you
mhm.
finally settle down, they good. They finally met what they're looking for.
Well, I mean, a lot of people seem to be wanting to model their life based off of these celebrities, and there's something you said before is they not even in that tax bracket, or they haven't even reached that kind of status yet. not knowing what that kind of pressure is like or what that kind of work is like, and they want to model their lives after these clips and images and stuff, not knowing that there's a lot more behind the scenes to that than what's expected.
Exactly.
One of the people I know and admire, well, not know and admire, but one of the people I admire from a distance is The Rock, and I know that his first marriage, his wife, who is literally his manager now, she divorced him and said he worked too much. I was like, huh? help me, help me make that make sense because you as manager and you telling him the reason you divorcing him is he worked too much. Aren't you the one providing that work? But
Because
if he didn't work enough, you'd be like,
and then again, you don't understand how the household works. Because also
right,
there is
true enough.
there is, and I've said this, there is a such thing as working too much.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, like it's like you're running from something too. Like, it can be something that you looked at. Like, everybody feel like, oh, just because I turned to alcohol or to drugs or whatever, that's how you can tell I'm going through something or pain. But yet, for someone that's constantly working and constantly busy, when you have a family at home, why are you so afraid to go to your family?
Mm.
Like, why? What's keeping you from not going home? I work. Most people, I work hard so I can provide for my family and be with my family, so that way I can be afforded to take certain times off, whatever. But if you constantly are somebody that just want to work, 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 there's something on that issue, that with thing. Because now, look, he's married again, right? The Rock is married now.
Yeah, yeah, he's married again.
He's constantly, you don't see nothing but videos of him at home with his daughters having a. What was wrong with that marriage that constantly wanted him to be at work all the time?
True enough. Wow, that whoa, you
Some
just
you gotta look.
yeah.
No one, no trust. Nobody wants to constantly just work, work, work. You, I don't. I'm not on this earth in my eyes, just to exist. I like to live. I don't want to just exist here. I like to live.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody say, oh, you only live once. No, I live every day. You only die once.
Mm, I like
So
that.
I'm gonna do as much as I can and have as fun. I'm gonna take that time off. I'm gonna take that PTO from work. Me and my significant other gonna go and enjoy ourselves. If that job leave, I get another one tomorrow.
Mm,
So for someone that's always like, no, I can't do it. I gotta work. No, I gotta. Why do you always just want to work? There's a
mm,
such thing as working too much. There really is.
mm. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So we're okay. Back to expectations and standards.
Mhm.
Uh, I have said you heard me say this a lot within this conversation that there's a difference between preferences and standards and expectations. I want you to give me uh, what your definition of each is and how do you view those things: expectations, standards, and
Two
preferences.
very simple words. Well, three, honestly, three simple words.
Okay.
You say is that there's a difference between expectations and standards. That's basically just saying there's a difference between my wants and my needs. Wants versus needs in that. So as far as like standards, standard wise, I think that's more like of a character trait.
Okay.
Like I would, me for a relationship wise, I would love somebody that's, as a standard, is family oriented. Like you're big on family. You protect your family. Like you can, if you're not close with yours, like let's figure out why. And that's like, is that like a trauma thing that we can build on? Hopefully, like a weakness that we can bring up. Like that's like a standard that I would need.
Mhm.
Preference is I'm gonna hit you with the, I need some my body above my height level. I just need you to look, I don't care about the six, but you gotta be at least taller than me in heels. It's a standard, but it's a preference. It's a difference.
Right. But you ain't gonna trip
That's all
out.
that one.
Okay, got you. But you won't trip out if you let's just say for instance, you meet somebody that's more along your height or maybe just an inch or two taller than you and you
Yeah.
gotta wear heels and you gonna be, maybe 2 inches taller than your
Oh, I would not flip out and be like, that's like me saying, oh my God, he checks off all my boxes except one. I can't deal with him. You got a 90% man and you said no to 10 for 10% because he wasn't high enough. What is wrong with you?
Now, I saw this video that this girl talked about. She broke up with a dude that had it all, but apparently his car was old. It was like a 2000, I think it was 2016, and she was like, he need to have a current year car. His car is old, so I can't be with him no more. I was like,
What was she driving?
I have no clue, but she said the dude had everything. Had his own place, a fly place,
Is
making
there
six figures, whatever the case may
no?
be. If I see the clip, if I see the video, I'll send you the video. But
If you look, if that's the thing, if I was him, and if that was said, I was if she did that to me, I will honestly tell her you are not somebody that I would want to be with because
mm,
you that's so you so into you a stereotype. It's not really not even just a stereotype. You are materialistic. You are
mm,
trying to become persona because obviously what the outside world sees is more important to you compared to what's inside your home. You care about the aesthetics on the outside. You can have a mansion on the outside, but you got rats and roaches on the inside of your foundation. That's all.
mm,
That's the vibe that she's giving. I don't
mm,
me driving down the street because when I go home and lay down to a beautiful home. My house is my fridge is full of food. My it's laid out perfectly how I want to. I don't care if people outside see me. I can be walking. So what? I'm getting to where I want to be. So why do you care about what other people see? That's all the car does. You other people see you in that. That's just so you can get to point A to point B and other people flashing scene. They don't see what's going on the inside of the car. Like y'all seen Pimp My Ride? The outside of the car can look like whatever, but the inside can be boy, oh my god. Don't listen. That's the problem with females for me. That's why I don't deal with. I don't talk. I don't have a lot of female friends because I can't do stuff like that. That's what bothers me, and that's what bothers me.
okay,
They go
okay.
materialistic. That's their issues. Females
So
go.
let me ask you a question. Do you think there's a difference between and I'm gonna say this in layman's terms, AK gold diggers and a woman that um, is expecting a man to be a provider? Because I'm gonna say this on my end. A lot of the guys you run into nowadays, and I've said this before, they want to claim every woman that wants a provider is a gold digger, and I'm like, that's not necessarily true. It's just what does she want you to provide? If she wants you to provide a lifestyle, that's I would categorize that more as a gold digger.
Yes.
Whereas if she wants you to provide for needs, certain needs, then I'm saying that's just an expectation. You a man, you should want to provide for her needs. In my opinion, a man is supposed to come along to a certain extent and take the place of a father in the life of that woman, not be like, oh, everything is equal. Even if it is in the beginning, he should be striving towards more of, I'm gonna take care of you at least on the necessities end.
Mm-hmm. There is a difference because that's just like I always when you say like the whole gold digger versus someone that just wants you to provide. If you like you said, it is the lifestyle. Because if you want me to provide a lifestyle for you that you can't provide for yourself, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You won't. That's I used to tell friends all the time. Well, can you go buy me a Birkin? You can't. You can't afford to walk in a Birkin store. So why you want him to be able to buy you the Birkin? You can barely walk in Aldo. To buy you, come on now. Let's just be realistic. That's why like people don't be thinking. They just don't, and that's what upsets me. Like I'm not up here, so I don't expect my relationship. Like I'm a average, down to earth female. That's just who I am. So the guy I attract and I talk to, yes, I've talked to guys that had money. I talked to some that didn't. But I've talked to guys who were working and trying their best, and our relationship lasted pretty good. It just other things that kind of caused it to end. But people aren't realistic, friend. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're just not. And that's just what draws it. That's just the end of it. People are not realistic. They are
Okay, so what do you say to that? What would you say to that woman that is actually she get into the bag, she got her own, she doing it, and she's like, would you tell her that accepting a man that is not making a significant amount of money, but he's providing for himself. Do you think she should accept that, or do you think she should hold on to her lofty expectations of a dude that's at her level? Where do you think that compromise comes in?
That's all on her. I feel because this is when I feel like when I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. When you look for a partner, whether you got 6 figures or 2 figures, you want somebody that's completing you, correct?
Right.
That to her, I will ask her, okay, I will literally say, you got X, Y, and Z. You make this, you do this, you do X, you have this on this list. And they're like, yeah, da 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 da. Okay, what's missing?
Mm.
What do you
Wow. Expand on that a little bit.
like literally
Expand
what
on.
like I will ask that question. They'll be like, well, what do you mean? You want a man, right? Like, yes, for what? Tell me if you I need an exact answer for what? Oh, so he can provide, but you provide for yourself already. So what do you want him to do? Are you tired of working? Are you not going to work? Like, what are you?
That's there and there. That I think is a lot of times what they want to do. They want a man to come along so that they can retire because they never really wanted to work like that anyway. You
Right.
know.
And that's the thing. People got to start being honest with themselves when they start saying that. Oh, no, I just want him to help me. No, you don't. Just tell the truth. You don't want to work no more. So you honestly want, just people just need to be honest. Okay. Hey, just say, I'm not trying to be with nobody long term. I want to be able to quit my job in 2 years, be with a man for 5. That way I can stack up. That way I can be set for the next 10 years and I'm good to go. Tell the truth. Just
Mm,
tell the truth. That's why, the example, future bounce from whatever. Just tell the truth.
mm,
Like, just be honest. Like when I look for a relationship, I'm looking for a partner. I want somebody that we can build together. Because I work, yes, so you should work. Do I want to have to work as hard as I am? No. Hence on why I have a partner. I love to work because I don't like to be stagnant. I like to enjoy, like go out and meet. I help people. That's what I like to do. So I want to keep working, but do I
mhm.
want to break my neck and my back to work so hard? No. But then again, why am I working so hard? Because I have so much I have to take care of because I have a lifestyle that I like to maintain. So I provide that for myself.
Mhm.
So unless I have a partner that can help me and help us continue to live this lifestyle that I enjoy, then I will continue to do it on my own. Point blank period.
I think that's I think that's well stated, and because I don't for the gentleman out for the gentleman, I don't I don't want these guys out here to think that um it's okay uh for them to be bums, right? And granted, I know that some females select these bum behind dudes because they look good and they can throw it down in the bedroom or whatever the case may be. But is we all know that's short lived, but it shouldn't take you um 5 or 6 years or 2 kids before you realize that picking dudes that look good is not good for you,
Yeah.
or
Trust
picking exciting lives is not good for you. But I don't want guys to think that, hey, me working part time at the gas station, a woman needs to accept me like that. I think that's absolutely ridiculous too.
and then too,
So
I feel like when you have a partner that you should want a partner that's gonna want better for you anyway. Because
right.
that's when I like I said, I had to hang up on Bay and you get me in trouble right now. But when we met and started talking, like we just in the whole dating thing, one of the first things we asked and we talked about is, like, what are you currently doing? Okay.
Mhm.
You work in this field. Okay, but where do you want to go from there? Do you see yourself constantly just working for somebody and doing X, Y, and Z? No? Cool. So well, how can I help you get to that next level? So there's no problem. There's no problem being with a working man. There is no problem being with the average working man. Just like as a female, there's no problem with still having your natural body. I promise there's no issue with that. It's not an issue. You can still you can still be your average self and still be true to you and find that perfect person. Okay.
Hey, she said you don't need the BBLs.
Don't don't need it. It's not and maybe that's why Lord do not make me no guy. Because this is my thing. I would ask somebody, if you are single, this is a question I had always wanted to know. If you're single and you claim to spend all this money to get this BBL or this some type of surgery just to enhance yourself, and yet you say it's for you. You say it's for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't. You say it's for you, but
Mm-hmm.
yet now you starting to look like everybody else that's out here, and you keep saying like now you want a man that's looking for that or whatever, whatever. How is it possible that you can afford this body type or whatever, but that's all you can afford?
Mm. Wow.
Like you don't bring nothing. Like you ain't got nothing else going for yourself. Like nothing. Like you really think that that's all a relationship needs? Well, I look good, baby. You know, when you get older, things start to lower. You know, things start to drop a little bit. You ain't think about the future here. It just that be across my mind. I don't know.
Oh God.
Wondering. Now,
Oh,
my
this is gonna be
certain
good.
things, melanin is beautiful. I say black don't crack unless you smoke it, but this, I mean, people be thinking. I just people don't think. Feel
Hey,
like,
listen, I don't care how much you work out. Eventually, stuff is going to happen. I mean, I just and even if you eat healthy all the rest of your days and you stay on a strict diet and you got eventually you're gonna look different to a certain extent. You
exactly.
know.
So
So I think the whole unrealistic. I know that most guys are appearance seeking. So I guess
that,
the thought
that's
process.
that's what I was getting at because I said this to my homeboy when I was trying to help him, his now ex girlfriend, work this stuff out. I asked him, I said, what drawed you to her? Honestly, I just want to know what drawed you to her. Because I said from jump, appearance was going to get anybody to get to their relationship. Appearance going to be the first thing that catches you, regardless.
Hmm.
It's not going to be what keep you, but it's going to be what attracts you to that person. So when he said it was like, oh, well, she looked good. I said, okay. Now y'all been in a relationship going on a whole year and you done cheated multiple times.
Mm.
I know, could be cool. And like you constantly complain. And yet you're constantly working because he is an officer, constantly working your behind off. Like you working 20-hour days, like you exhausted. And yet you mad because you can't come home to a cooked meal. Or even this food brought because she's not a cooker. I was like,
Ooh.
why are you still in this relationship? He's
Mm.
like, I don't know. I said, because she just looked good. And yet you struggling everywhere else.
Mm.
That don't make sense to me. Why? Well, I don't understand why people do that to themselves. Why do you do that?
I think guys want youth and a nice look, but I think if you understand the concept of a relationship, you understand that things are going to change, and she's going to change just as much as you're going to change. And if you go, hey, look, I can kind of settle on looks, just as long as she don't look like a troll with her makeup off, I'm straight. You know.
I'm not selling for nothing. Because I will tell you quick, I don't care if you look like Trey Songz in the face. Mixed with a little Michael B. Jordan. You can be the finest thing in the world. But if after one conversation we done had and you giving me carrot top or you done gave radio activity, you, I don't care how fine you are. I,
Oh, I'm done.
I don't care. I just okay, you out here giving right, like I just can't. That's why I don't get it. Y'all sit here, y'all, and then it's like we're just comfortable. I don't want to leave. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. Can't do
So
it.
okay, so this is gonna bring me because we hitting at about an hour now, and I don't want to hold you too long.
Yeah.
But let's hit this final topic here. Um, you said comfortability. Do you think um part of the reason people don't leave certain relationships is because they're comfortable with that person, and
100.
the idea of starting over with somebody new or being out on the dating market is is that traumatic that it's like,
I don't I don't
ooh,
I don't think it's that. It's 100% comfortable. Yes. Is it because I say what that is that rain? But is 100% comfortable? Yes. But are they afraid to get in the dating world? No. They just afraid of being alone.
mm,
People will
mm,
have somebody at home and be out cheating and secretly texting this person, and you telling your spouse you at work, but you really out on a date or hanging out with this other person, male or female, just because you're afraid of being 100% alone. That's it.
mm,
A lot of people are too afraid to go home to them by themselves, because then you left to think about your own self and your own issues and your own thoughts. You left in your own mind. People are afraid of that. That that's
mm,
that's why they settle. And that's why they get comfortable in bad situations. And people
mm.
get uncomfortable. People need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's good. That's good. So you think a lot of the reason people stay in bad relationships or AKA toxic relationships is not because they so comfortable with the person. It's just they don't like being lonely. Do you
Yeah.
think that's the main reason people want to jump into relationships, or
Yeah.
they idealize the thought of relationships and marriage?
Yes. Yes. People don't like to be alone. People are afraid to be alone. That's just what it is. And then a lot of that, it can be because of trauma stuff. It can be just because they don't like they just honestly just afraid. That's just the bottom line. People are afraid of being alone.
Do you think there's a certain amount of, because I've often heard it said, you can't accomplish anything of significance all by yourself, and I do believe that to a certain degree,
Mm,
but all at the same time, I believe you do need to know who you are before you get into something with somebody else, because like you stated before, you need to know what your flaws are and what your likes and dislikes and all that good stuff is, so that going in you already know kind of what you're looking for.
exactly.
Um, Having said that, the, the loneliness factor. Do you think that plays a big part? And this is absolutely it. Do you think that plays a big part in people pursuing relationships, or do you think there is a genuine want or longing or need for people to be in relationships? And why do you think that's such a big thing in our community?
I think it's more of people being afraid of being alone while they jump relationships compared to over as people that just wanting one. Because if you
Mm,
there are more people out here bossed up and doing it themselves compared to people that are alone
mm,
or that are in relationships. I'm sorry, that are in relationships.
mm-hmm,
And those people, they genuinely might want one, but when you come see somebody that's, because I'm pretty sure someone that's don't got their ish together. They just don't. They're not trying. They don't care to try. They stuck in their ways. But yeah, they
mm,
always with somebody else. They always in a relationship at all times. You've
mm,
never really seen them. They might break up with this person today, but then 2 weeks later they with somebody else. They always got an open rock. Always.
mm,
Those are people that are afraid to be alone. They can't handle being by themselves because
mm,
they don't know what it's like to be by themselves. They always got either somebody to take care of them, somebody telling them what to do, somebody telling them how things should be. It's always somebody else there to help make a decision. They don't know how to do it by themselves.
mm,
That's
mm,
that's the
mm.
an issue compared to just a relationship want. People are more afraid than anything.
All right, so let's wrap this up. In conclusion, what do you want to say to the people out there, girls and guys alike? Mainly, I mean, if you want to just hit the women, hit the women. But what do you want to say to the girls and guys alike concerning this topic in our community?
Um, I feel like for this whole topic, the biggest thing everybody should talk about, and it's probably based off our last part of the conversation,
Mhm,
is before you jump into any relationship, there's two things that you need to ask yourself. You know, is do basically, do I know myself? Like, do I know my strengths and weaknesses, things that will contribute to my relationship?
mhm,
And am I afraid to be by myself? And is that why I'm trying to hurry up and find one?
mhm,
Like this before you jump into a relationship, ask yourself a bunch of questions, like yourself, before you try to find a partner, because either You ask some questions now and solve your issues, or you get in a relationship and that partner starts asking you, and now you freaking out and want to end it because you don't know how to address the situation.
Mm,
So
okay.
that's all. And
Cool, cool.
do those things, and you will strive. Okay, you will climb that mountaintop of happiness in your relationships. It's all you got to do.
Cool beans, cool beans. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on, chatting with me, and I enjoyed chopping it up. And I know we had this conversation a few times, and the
Yeah,
last time we had it was I don't know, I forget, but I know we had it. We was
oh,
chilling out at dinner,
I love talking.
and it's good to get this out here. I hope that a lot more people watching on Second Watch and comment on that. Comment on that, Jay. Is there anything you got going on that you want to promote as far as you personally, or anything you want to get out there before we get up off of the stream?
Not right now. I have some things in the works, but I don't want to jinx it just yet. So hopefully we end up talking again, and I'm able to say it if you have me on again. So
Oh,
we
of course, of course. This is good.
in the limbo right now.
All right, all right. So, everybody, this has been Keena Jones. Hit her up. Is there any place you want people to hit you up? Let me just ask you that.
Of course, Instagram is one of my favorites. My tag is its underscore Sha'Kinna, spelled exactly how it is across the screen.
Hmm.
So my main thing that anybody can hit me on. So I
Okay, so and y'all already heard she got a babe. So for all you homies out there, she taken. So don't be in the DMs talking about, hey baby, what's up? Because she gonna ignore you and gonna leave you on red,
I
just like most of these girls are anyway. So
don't do that. Don't do that.
uh, that is it, Keena. Thank you for chopping it up with me. I will definitely have you back on. Hopefully, I'll have you back on with a bigger panel. And you have yourself a good night. Don't forget to give me whatever some of that is that you
I
did.
promise you, you will.
All
Most of what I got going on over here. But I'll talk.
right. Take care. All right. See you later.
See ya.
So everybody, just finished wrapping up the interview with Sha'Kinna. Uh, I love her. She's a wonderful friend. And I hope to have more people on to have these dope conversations. And that is it. People, check out my TikTok. I just started TikTok, the Standard 81 podcast over there on TikTok. And as well as my Instagram at Sincere the Artist. And you can also see me on Facebook at Keith Sincere Richardson there. I'm trying to get everything all the same at Standard 81, but it is taking quite a process. So once it's all there, I will let you know that you can look at it everything all in one. Uh, Hopefully, I will continue to figure out more of this stuff and how to put things at the bottom and all that good stuff. But for now, this is what we got. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.